Welcome to Military News Channel. The other half of the equation is better anti-missile defenses. With their S-300 long-range surface-to-air missile systems and more recently Germany's highly capable IRIS-T and the US NASAMS, Ukraine's air defenses have intercepted a growing proportion of Russian cruise missiles and Iranian attack drones. In October, Ukrainian air defenses were taking out just over half of the cruise missiles being fired, according to the Ukrainian military's figures. That proportion is now above two-thirds, and the Ukrainians believe the Russians are running out of their more accurate systems.
Last month the Pentagon also cleared the dispatch of Hawk missiles. The launchers are coming from Spain, and 4 Avenger air defense systems. The Ukrainians want more, and ask Germany and the US almost every day for Patriot missile batteries. US officials have been coy about the prospect, saying it is not currently under discussion. As engineers work around the clock, Kudrytsky said, the percentage of the electricity deficit is gradually decreasing. But then Russian missiles and drones again fly to Ukrainian energy facilities and destroy everything that has been restored. Some Ukrenergo facilities have been targeted 8 times, he said, and 8 times they've been patched up. Timoshenko told CNN, "The enemy aims to plunge Ukraine into cold and darkness. And we are aware that it requires courage and endurance from each of us this winter. We know that it will be the most difficult in the history of Ukraine." But he said he was confident Ukraine would prevail, and that the ultimate goal was to build back better and faster.
What Russia cannot win on the battlefield, it is seeking to win by casting Ukrainian cities into the dark and cold as a long winter sets in. The result is a grinding battle of attrition. Barrages of Russian missiles fly across Ukraine, and Ukrainian power engineers work for days in freezing temperatures to restore power. Monday saw the largest wave of missile attacks since November 23. Ukraine's state power generator, Ukrenergo, says that about 40% of normal electrical supply was offline at one point in October. It's become known as the electricity deficit, and it swings one way and another depending on missile impacts. Kyrylo Timoshenko, the deputy chief of staff to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, told CNN that, what the Ukrainian energy system has been experiencing since October, no energy system in the world has ever experienced. The CEO of state power generator Ukrenergo, Volodymyr Kudrytsky, says the issue is not in generating power but in getting it to the people. The enemy is hitting the most important facilities and key elements of substations that ensure the output and transmission of electricity. Kudrytsky. The Russians go after the most vulnerable parts of the system. By the nature of the attacks we see that Russian missiles are directed by Russian power engineers, says Timoshenko. That's in part because until this year Ukraine was in the same energy network as Russia and Belarus. Russian engineers knew the Ukrainian network inside out.
The main targets are high-voltage power lines, substations and distribution grids.
Joseph Mikut, director of the Energy Security and Climate Change Program at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, says that Russia's attacks have focused on key elements of Ukraine's transmission network, preventing generated electricity from moving through the grid and to consumers, and forcing blackouts to balance the grid.
Attacks on high-voltage substations have been particularly damaging as they are critical for grid operation and difficult to repair.
Ukraine is now scouring the world to find compatible parts and carry out repairs, as the morale of ordinary people is tested by power cuts that often last more than 12 hours a day. Prolonged blackouts threaten to send another wave of Ukrainian civilians fleeing westwards to Poland and other neighboring countries. There is a glimpse of hope. Ukraine's air defenses are getting better at taking out Russian cruise missiles, often with newly arrived Western equipment. Ukraine said